Okay guys, it's Bruce, 51 NAPCO. I started putting in my wiring from that Speedway kit I did a review on. Anyway, there's the start of it. And that's where my cannon plugs are going to go eventually. So I'll just stick this camera up somewhere and start working. Okay, I think I got it set up pretty good, so here I go. Right now I'm just sorting through the wires that I'm going to use. Some of them I'm not going to use, and I'll probably just coil them up in the top of the dash for later use. Just one circuit at a time, only 20 circuits, so it's no biggie. Try to keep some semblance of order so I don't kink the wires and make it sloppy. I'm putting all these wires that I'm not going to use, I'm just draping them down underneath. We got an electric heater, or electric temp sender, electric oil sender, some other things that I'm not using at this time. Turn signals, headlights, horn, and electric fan I'm using. Okay, electric fan, right turn, ignition, headlight low, left front turn, headlight high, park lights, and horn. That's all I need. So these will eventually go through the top cannon plug. Right now I'm just going to stick them through the hole and have a grommet. Okay, so far I've got the top bundle goes to the front of the truck, the bottom bundle goes to the rear of the truck, and then I've got my dimmer switch right there hooked up. Now I'm going to have to dig into the schematic a little bit to get a couple of these other things organized and press on from there. Okay. Next thing, I wanted to show you is these headlight switches. Just dropped something. Okay, this is the one that I had, and as you can see, you got to hook all the wires up with screws, and that's the one that I had gotten a long time ago. This is the one that came with the kit. And it's just plug and play. There's a big connector, everything's already wired up, so you just throw this thing in there, plug it in, good to go. And wouldn't you know, that the little nut that goes through to connect it. Oh, now I dropped it. is too big. So now I got to drill a hole bigger in my dash to get this thing to fit. Come on. Okay. Drilled. Just to show you, that's, need to cut the shaft down, no biggie. But it's a nicer switch than the other one I had. Headlight switch, plug and play.
I used to walk away from lunch feeling hungry.
Okay, what I'm doing is making my, this is what the panel's going to go in, the, whatchamacallit. So, I just took a piece of sheet metal, and I got some board, some thin plywood, cheapest stuff I could find, because I'm working on a budget, so, but I just cut it out, and I'm just folding over the edges right now, and just kind of doing like a laminate type of a deal. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And what I also did is I epoxied on a couple of screws, and right here, this goes on to actually a hood hinge bolt. I just put an extra long bolt in it, so it'll go through right there. And then these other two, I'll go up above the bottom of the dash and put those two bolts in the holes. This will hold on to the that hinge bolt, and then I'm gonna just put a couple bolts on these, and that'll secure it. I'm thinking about doing something on this side too, but I haven't yet. I just want to get the thing in there. So, and then I just made a little sheet metal bracket that goes up and over and down, and it'll bolt right onto here. That'll hold the panel. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Okay, turn the camera around. I'm going to try to show you. So the panel will be up there. And I got most of the wires stuffed up in there. I'll neaten everything all up. But here's the two. This is where the cannon plugs are going to go through the firewall. So these will all neaten up, and I'm gonna probably put some sort of conduit or cover over this stuff and run it up in the corner here so it won't be seen. Plus it'll be under the firewall insulator. So anyway, that's kind of how that looks. And then outside here, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of hard. Conduit going over there and up over the top and into the headlight area. It's kind of hard to see, it's dark. And then I running through, here's the front panel, so I take that off, and then I got my fan control is that orange wire, and then the horn wire will go down there, and then I just have the conduit going through to the other side there, and basically this thing just kind of sort of like that. So that'll be headlights. These will be running lights and turn signals. There's also right here stock lights. What I'm going to do with those is I'm going to make those permanently on, so whenever I turn the ignition on, those will be on. Safety type deal. And these particular bulbs here, these are actually off of a task force truck, 55 to 59, and I just mounted them right underneath the headlights because I think they look cool, and they look like they're kind of sort of supposed to be there. So then coming to the back here, here's conduit coming from the front. I still have to route it, and then the wires, and then basically hook the lights up. Okay, so that's basically where I'm at right now, and I probably put total so far in mounting this Speedway wiring harness probably 6 hours. Got most of the front end wired. I just got to do that side headlights and turn signals. Hook up the ignition. I still have to do the engine compartment stuff. So I got ignition to hook up, alternator, battery, run the battery inside. I've got a couple other circuits that I got to figure out. Not because they're not done on the Speedway kit, but I'm doing them in a particular way for what I want to do. So I've already scribbled out some schematics how I kind of want to do it, but it's just a matter of figuring it out and trying to get the wire together and the different pieces. One of the things I needed was a relay. One side normally open, one side normally closed is what I want. And so I went and picked one of those up at the parts place. Here's the battery wire that I still have to put in, fusible link. So what else? Alternator. So it's coming. It's, you know, a couple days worth of work. That's about it. And the main thing is having to put things together and make things. And, you know, instead of just putting it in, like I had to make that panel to mount the panel on. And I'm not real happy with the materials I had to use. I really wanted to use a big piece of aluminum, but I couldn't find any, and so I just got what I had laying around, and that's kind of how I've had to do a lot of this stuff. So, but that's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to think of anything else to add at this point. Oh yeah, I got something else to add. My totally cool keychain. So I'll keep pressing and give you an update as I go along.